Do you want to know whether a person will divorce later in life? Yes. You can assess that even before they get married. How do you do that? You observe how they deal with conflicts today. You observe how they deal with conflicts today. And so today I want to talk about conflict resolution. Let me use a passage of scripture, 1 Corinthians 13. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love hopes all things, and love bears all things. I say to singles, never marry a person who exhibits any one of these 4 behavioral patterns. If you do, then you know that trouble is brewing. What are these patterns? Whenever you see a person exhibiting any one of these 3 patterns habitually, then you know danger is ahead. They're called the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. These are the 4 major predictors of divorce. When you plan to get married, one of the first things you must ask regarding your spouse, how is he able to deal with conflicts? How does he deal with conflicts? In a marriage, you'll always have conflicts. But the problem is not that you have conflicts, but it is how you resolve those conflicts. It is not that you fight is the problem, but it is how you fight. And so today I want to talk about these 4 traits, behavioral traits that you must avoid when seeking a life partner. How they deal with conflicts. Number 1, criticism. Does this person habitually criticize you? Are they continually critical of the things you say and what you do? One of the things a lady appreciates, and also a man in a marriage, is the fact that they can just be themselves without being judged. Are you able just to be yourself without being judged? You see, people must be able to, just when they when they are at home, they must be able to relax. Let down their guard, so to speak. They should be able to just to speak freely. But in many homes, people are walking on eggshell, so to speak, because their partner is always critical of the things they say and of the things they do. And because of that, home becomes a dangerous place to be in. You see, the home was designed to be a harbor in the storm of life. But sad to say, many homes are a storm in the harbor of life. But primarily, friends, it is, how do you resolve conflicts in your home? You cannot afford to be critical of your spouse. So whenever your spouse makes a mistake, sometimes don't call attention to their minor flaws and failures. Everybody makes mistakes sometimes. But don't dwell on the minor flaws, but rather celebrate the good that they do. Make a big thing of their small accomplishment. These are the building blocks of which marriage is built. Words of affirmation, words of admiration and affection. Remember these 3 A's in a marriage. If any of these 3 A's is absent from your marriage, then you are having a mediocre marriage. If any of these 3 A's is absent from your marriage, then you're having a mediocre marriage. What are the 3 A's? Number one, affirmation. 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 Let's talk about affirmation a little. It is identifying something good in a person and celebrating them for it. You are affirming their good behavior. You know, some people, you may be doing something grand, but they never speak it. And I've realized that one of the great problems in many homes is the inability of people to utter words of commendation and expression of appreciation. Some people find it very difficult to express affection. But if marriage is to survive, you must be the affectionate type. You cannot be just critical and cold in your home. You can't be a cold stone transforming your home into a moral refrigerator. Then everybody is frozen and the home atmosphere is tense and people finds being at home hardship. Being at home is drudgery. It's enslavement. No, our attitude in our home should be one where we liberally shower on each other words of affirmation and expression of appreciation. So I want to ask you today, are you the affectionate type? You know, some people will say, well, I'm sorry, but, I wasn't grown that way. I was grown to be rough and uncouth. You see, my culture is I'm acculturated to be harsh. Tenderness and being gentle is for women, some men even say. I don't believe in this mushy stuff. Well, let me just share with you, my friends. When you got married, you consented to a commitment. You took a vow not to be harsh and coarse with your spouse, no. You took the vow to love and to cherish. When you get an opportunity to do a research of the word cherish, and you realize that that word admits of nothing that is coarse and uncouth and hostile and aggressive. Not at all. Cherishing has to do with affirming each other. Cherishing has to do with nurturing. Cherishing has to do with caring for the other person. That's cherishing. You cherish somebody when you treat them with tender, loving care. That's cherishing. But it's amazing that in some homes, people liberally use words that hurt each other. Negative words. Some people are constantly negative. Inspiration says that some people, it's as though their mind is cast in a negative mold. I'll tell a little story talking about negativity. Some people are just negative. It was the man's birthday. The lady bought him 2 ties in an effort to express her birthday wish for him. 2 ties. And so the night they were having a birthday party for him. And so he decides that he's going to adorn himself. He's going to tie in one of the ties. And so he went in the room and he took 30 minutes When he emerged from the room, he was like a statesman. He was sharp like a razor, and he waxed like a gillet. He was looking good. When he came out, he said to his wife, "Honey, come over here. How do I look?" Wife came out, and the wife looked at him. Her brow knitted, her eyes bulging, and said, "Wow, what is that?" And her face was distorted, and she looked at the tie, and she said, "Wow. So what happened to the other one? Why you didn't wear it?" Then I thought to myself, maybe he was supposed to wear one here and wear one over here. We're talking about somebody who is just negative. They don't know how to show appreciation. They don't know how to express good wishes. And many people are like this. Many people, they are so negative that when they greet you, they cannot but utter negativity. "Oh, why you look like that? I thought you would look better." And because of this, friends, because of negativity, the emotional fabric of their marriage ebbs away. And their marriage is failing before their very eyes. And they cannot understand. Let me share with you, friends, negativity, negative words destroy marriages. As a matter of fact, may I share this with you? That after 24 years of working with couples in different parts of the world, I have found no habit more effective to destroy marriage than unregulated speech, the unbridled tongue, the reckless words that drip from the lips of spouses. Negative words. As a matter of fact, sometimes it is said that sometimes the verbal wound cut deeper than the physical wound and takes longer to heal. Before people get married, one of the first things I like to say to them, the first thing you must work on is your speech. In premarital counseling, the first thing you must work on is your speech. For you cannot enter marriage with a loose tongue. In marriage, you don't live by feelings, you live by principle. You took a vow to love and to cherish your spouse. And come what may, before you utter a negative word to destroy the humanity of your spouse, to erode their self-esteem, to berate and belittle them, pray this prayer: "Lord, help me that my tongue may cleave to the roof of my mouth," before you utter a negative word to embitter your spouse. And so, friends, avoid in your home, avoid criticism. Take on the habit of being the affectionate type. These are the building blocks of which marriage is made. Some people, you know, they have practiced negativity for so long, they may have to rehearse it. And so I say, let me just share with you that rehearsal is a behavioral technique. Sometimes to change behavior, you have to rehearse it. So go before your mirror sometimes and practice saying, "I love you." Just talk to yourself, "I love you. I will care for you. If I were to do it again, it would still be you." Practice speaking words that edify, that build up your spouse. Because these are the building blocks of which marriage is made. If you want to see your spouse radiate with joy every day, look at her and tell her she's classic. Praise her when she does something good. If you want to see your husband with a spring in his step and a sparkle in his eye. Be his greatest fan. Make him feel as though he is your hero. Be like Sarah in the Bible. Remember, Sarah called him Lord. When was the last time you looked upon your husband and said, my Lord? That's okay. Make him feel like he is your hero. That's how you embellish your spouse. That's how you strengthen marriage. That's how you allow your spouse to become a radiantly beautiful human being. You must appreciate them. Even children thrive on words of commendation and expression of appreciation. Away with the bitterness, away with the negativity, my friends. Even if you're grown that way, even if you're acculturated based on your culture to behave a certain way, when you get married, you must expel that behavior from your very being. For you marry to cherish and to love your spouse. So shed happiness and peace in your home. And so the first behavioral habit, singles, I want to talk to you today. The first behavioral habit that you must avoid in another person is criticism. Somebody who habitually criticizes another. They're always critical. You must never venture to marry such a person until they are healed and until you see a pattern of behavior that convinces you that, yes, they have changed. So avoid criticism. Number 2, these are the 4 major predictors of divorce. I'm giving you the 4 major predictors of divorce. Avoid criticism, number 1. Number 2, avoid defensiveness. Somebody who is always defensive. You say something and they say, well, it's not me, it's you. They're always deflecting the situation on another person. Always defending themselves. Defensiveness, another predictor of divorce. And as I said before, if you're speaking to somebody, singles, and this person exhibits any one of these 4 behavioral patterns, don't ever venture to marry them. For you know you are entering danger zone. So the second area, behavioral pattern you must avoid in another person is defensiveness. The third is stonewalling. What is it? Stonewalling. Stonewalling is when somebody shuts down on you. Don't talk about it. I said don't bring it up again. I don't want to hear about it. And they try to sweep it under the carpet, even though that issue is a fundamental issue in the marriage. It affects the marriage, and without that being resolved, you feel like you cannot move on. But yet the person does not want to talk about it. That's a danger signal. Stonewalling. The communication channel is blocked. And you cannot get through the other person. Don't I say don't talk about it? I don't want to hear it again. Leave it alone. How can you leave it alone when this affects the marriage? It's better if you say, I don't want to talk about it now. Can we talk about it later? Because, I can understand it may not be the right time to address that issue. But at least set another time to deal with it. And when the Bible says, for example, let not the sun go down on your wrath. Be angry, but sin not. Let not the sun go down on your wrath. It doesn't mean that at times you may not even go to bed angry, you know, it happens, but you set a time to deal with it. It shows that you did not ignore the issue. And that's important here. You're not ignoring it. But when a person starts to stonewall on you, they are essentially avoiding the issue. Let's not talk about it. Forget it. And then the bitterness, the grief, the grudge is nurtured in the heart. And then the devil takes the advantage of the moment to put in your heart negativity about the other person. And then you start to think the worst of the other person. So stonewalling is dangerous. Now the fourth character trait that you must avoid in another person, and the fourth major predictor of divorce, is what we call contempt. Contempt. When somebody treats you as though they are superior to you. You are their inferior. They talk down to you. They disregard what you say. They ridicule you for what you say. And they make you feel as though what you are saying is not important. Contempt. And so singles, watch this today. There are four. Singles, let me share this with you. You can assess whether a person will divorce later with a 95% accuracy. How can you do that? I'll tell you how. Observe how they deal with conflicts today. That's it. And the four major areas, the four major predictors of divorce. When you see a pattern of behavior in another person, something that they do habitually, they do it unconsciously. Criticism, stonewalling, defensiveness, and contempt. You see, somebody may say, well, you know, never mind, I'll do better. I'm not like that. I have changed. Friends, if you're contemplating marriage, don't trust words. You know, one of my favorite talk show hosts in Jamaica back in the day, Mr. Mutty Perkins, you might have heard about him. One of the things he used to say is that the mouth is made to say anything. You remember that? The mouth can say anything. So it is not about what a person says. It is not about the promise they make. Oh, you know, never mind. I'm a nice person. I'll take care of you. I'll change. If they don't change to get you, they won't change to keep you. So don't be deceived, young people, that, okay, when they get married, they will change. If they don't change while they're single to get you, they won't change to keep you. Today I'm talking to singles. So don't trust his words. The mouth can say anything. Don't trust her words. Oh, I'll be wonderful. I won't do that again. No. What you trust is their pattern of behavior. Some action that they exhibit consistently. Habits. That's what you trust. You cannot even trust just their action. They may open the door for you. They prepare a nice meal for you. Say, oh, wonderful. He's so wonderful. Look what he does for me. Oh, I want to marry him. Oh, I cannot find another man like this. He treats me so well. You cannot even trust intermittent action. No, don't trust action. One man says that, when you meet a person, you don't really meet their true self. You meet a representative of them. What demonstrates what a person is their pattern of behavior. Observe their pattern, something that they do over and over. Their tendency, a settled tendency. An involuntary behavior. That's habit. And so it's a good thing sometimes, to check out the way he relates to his mom. Check out the way she relates to her dad and her siblings and the other important people in his life or her life. That will give you a good idea as to whether he is fit for marriage or whether she's fit for marriage. So young people, I call on you today. Trust pattern of behavior when you plan to get married. Okay? And so remember this. Work on the manner in which you resolve your conflicts. If that man habitually raises his hand as though he wants to hurt you, and he gets impatient easily, those are red flags. Ask yourself, how does he resolve conflicts? That's the question you must ask when you are contemplating marriage. How does she resolve conflicts? For in marriage, conflicts will come. You can always have conflicts. There are two kinds of people in marriage, friends. Number one, you have the disaster of marriage. And number two, you have the master of marriage. The master of relationship is always seeking for an opportunity to fix the marriage. For the marriage always needs fixing. The marriage is always in a state of disrepair. Always need fixing. But the disaster of marriage doesn't care. But the master of relationship is always seeking for a way to fix the marriage. So remember this, love is kind. Love is gentle. Love does not abuse each other. Love is forbearance. Love is patient. So whether you're single or married, remember these traits, my friends. These are the building blocks of which marriage is built. Patience, gentleness, long-suffering, forbearance. I love you all, and thanks for joining me today. All of you who have joined this live Facebook broadcast. It's great to see you. And if you'd like to discuss, if you have issues you'd like to discuss and you'd like to join my marriage maintenance program, here we teach you all you need to know to have a triumphant marriage. Click the link below or visit my website at lloydallen.org. You can become a member of the exclusive group. Also, if you are contemplating marriage, you're single, and you'd like to get proper premarital preparation, join my exclusive community below at lloydallen.org. Love you all. God bless you. Until we meet again. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.